You like music?
I do a little better than you could. Rap tap faster he would.
You like video games?
You need some milk. You need some milk. Oh my God! I'm gonna punch you in the. Oh God, run!
Podcast?
I got podcasts. I got podcasts right here.
The Sweats and Steve Show.
No, it's real, dude. They're literally Jaguars.
No! It's pretty cool.
My name is Sweats, and I'm on the journey to 1,000 subscribers, and I need you to get there. But the question is, you clean enough?
Keep it clean.
Why, hello, clean boys and dirty girls.
Welcome to the Sweats and Steve Show.
I checked out the show, the Sweats and Steve Show. Seems like you guys have fun on there. It's pretty cool.
Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
To Sweats and become a clean one today. Oh, oh, oh.
I'm Sweats.
And I'm Steve.
I used to be an average, ordinary guy. So one day a pair of magical glasses fell from the heavens and gave me the powers and rhythms of an electronic future. Now with my glasses and my cousin Steve,
I just like to be on the internet.
we're ushering in the future electronic.
Sweats.
Steve, this is the Sweats and Steve Show. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Sweats, accompanied with my cousin Steve. This is the Sweats and Steve Show, episode number 28. Woo! Am I supposed to be saying woo on a podcast about the funeral business? I don't know. But tonight we have a very special guest. That to a lot of us in the chat is a part of a very special thing, obviously. So if I may, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to like and share this out. He is a licensed funeral director, a teacher of mortuary science, an author, a seaman, a father, and if you can believe it, host of the Funeral Science Podcast, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Benjamin Schmidt.
Hey guys, how's it going out there? Thanks for having me on tonight.
Oh, that's wonderful. Take in the applause, Mr. Schmidt, please.
I know, I'm used to having a lot more of applause actually. So
can we get some claps in the chat for Mr. Schmidt, please? How are you feeling today, Mr. Schmidt?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking.
Absolutely. Well, we're glad to have you on here and glad to be finally talking about this topic that's very near and dear to me, you, and to a lot of people again in the chat. Because we have mentioned it before, haven't we, Steve? We talk about like some of the funeral stuff, but we haven't talked about it in depthly, and that's what we're aiming to do here. But before, I kind of gave you a little mini introduction, but if you want to further elaborate on who you are, what you do, you have the floor, Mr. Schmidt.
Yeah, hi. I'm Ben. I am an instructor at a mortuary college outside of Chicago here, and I've been teaching there. I just crossed over into my 6th year teaching there. Before that, I was working in a very busy place out here in Chicagoland. I graduated from mortuary school in 2011. And so during that time, I earned a master's degree, got the job at the school, and I've been doing that ever since. So kind of other things that I have in the the pot or whatever you want to call it. I did write a textbook on restorative art.
That's right.
I have the Funeral Science Podcast. That's brand new. There's only a couple episodes out so far, but I'm trying to make it interactive as possible. So people, I have a listener section and all that other stuff. So I see a couple people saying hello to me in the chat. So Apollina said hi. And then also I see Salma. I definitely I recognized the name and I was hoping it was the same Salma that I know. So yeah, I was like, oh, interesting. Same name. So those are kind of things to do. And then on top of that, the other important thing that I really do is, I have a family, and we're very close here. So those are kind of the things that I do with my life.
If I had the sound effect of a crowd going, "Aw," I would have played it right there.
Yeah,
I
should have
would've played it right
preloaded that. Yeah,
you
should know.
know, this is only episode 28. We're still trying some new things. We're working some kinks out of the system. But hey, Mr. Schmidt, what can you do? You know what I'm saying? I am in my funeral director DLC. I am feeling pretty strapping right now. But yeah, I guess we could start things off with the mother of all questions that could be proposed to you. But before we do that, again, make sure to like and share this out. Ben, my question to you to start off this wonderful interview. Funeral directing. Oh, let me get the full screen here. Funeral directing, funeral business, mortuary science. Why do you do it?
Well, a little bit of background about how I came to have this happen. So in my, very, very well lyrically composed bio that you had there,
I know
you
a lot about lyrics.
that I was a seaman. Technically, I was an airman, but yes, I was in the Navy. And while I was, I got out of the Navy, I had finished my bachelor's degrees and stuff, and I was looking to do something. And one of the things that I wanted to do was be a science teacher. And it was kind of around the time of the Great Recession, and there wasn't a lot of market for teachers and stuff like that. So I kind of went a different direction and started looking for some other stuff to do. And one of the places that I went to was our alma mater, of course, and they convinced me that I should be a funeral director, and I agreed. So in a very roundabout way, I ended up being a science teacher of a very specific science.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And by your podcast, you are putting the science back into it. You're putting the genie back in the bottle. I mean, the lightning back in the bottle, if you really think about it. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Schmidt?
Well, maybe I'm trying to let the lightning out and then also describe to people what the lightning is, right?
Yeah, there you go. I like that. I like that a lot. I think that's why you're my favorite teacher. Don't tell anybody.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, that's wonderful. That's a wonderful. That's quite the story you have there. But Steve, I think did you have a question, Steve? For
yeah, absolutely. So first of all, I just wanted to say thank you for coming on the show. Very excited to have you as a guest. Didn't have much time to prep with you, so one of the things that I just wanted to say or wanted to ask is, being a mortician is something that I don't think many people would go into. So why did you decide to go into your profession, and then what made you stay?
Yeah, so actually that's a great question. Really, when I kind of got to know what the content of the job looked like, I had educational backgrounds in natural science and psychology. I also have a degree in business. So it's kind of like a mixing of all three of those things. Sure. Plus kind of my Navy background. I know this might sound kind of strange. I was an electrician in the military, and sort of the technical skill that goes into, embalming and restoring people, all that sort of translated well for me. Sure. So I feel like I just had this kind of bizarre skill set that was just taken from all these different areas, which honestly, that's kind of what funeral service is all these sort of different skill sets put together in one job. And it just so happened that I had kind of like tangential training in all these different ways, and it just fit me, I suppose. And so that's why I stayed. And then I also, just started to learn that there was a lot of opportunity to be sort of progressive and kind of like in our generation of funeral directors. And I don't say that my age wise, but just sort of like our development time. Like I would definitely put Sweats here in that generation. People are open to new ideas. We are trying new things. Yes. We're integrating technology. We're trying to bring the family in more and stuff like that. So it's really like, it's actually a pretty cool time to be a funeral director if you can figure out how where you find how you fit in the community, and then get other people in the community to sort of get that stuff with you, right? Even though, kind of like in the history, there's been, these people have opposing viewpoints and like kind of all this other stuff, and it creates a lot of animosity. But I think us moving forward, we're like, just like we're trying to get to more racial diversity and gender diversity and all that other stuff, I feel that in the funeral service too, that we're also looking to be able to get philosophies together. So that's part of the reason why I do that too, because I want to see those philosophies kind of coming together, and if I can, help find ways for people to meld them.
Sure. I think one of the first things that comes to mind when people think of morticians. Now, I'm a bit of a romantic thinker, Ben.
Oh yeah, look at that face. That nothing speaks romance than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Such a heartthrob.
Right? Yeah.
You should shout out Fiona right now, Steve.
Well, she's sleeping right now, but yeah, shout out to Fiona.
Okay, can we get an F in the chat for Fiona, please?
Get some F's in the chat.
All right, here we go.
But I think one of the first things that people think about is Paul Bearer, the Undertaker's manager, who was a mortician. At least that's what I first thought. And then my uncle was a mortician. Sweats is a mortician, and you are the third mortician that I have. So just a silly question that I have for you: do morticians get mad at Paul Bearer? The Undertaker's. Do they get mad? Are they like, that is not how we are? We're not walking around with urns.
A tragic PR mishap, if I do say so myself. But Mr.
Right.
Schmidt, what do you think about that?
So first of all, I'd like to say thank you to Jeremiah, who said that I look dapper. True.
That's right. You do look like the funeral director, Mr. Rogers, there, if I do say so myself.
These are my pajamas, so this is pretty much how I look most of the time. Yeah, this is what I switched into. Yeah,
so I'm definitely validated in my statement of you being my favorite teacher. Definitely now.
Thanks, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's just like Mr. Rogers, who is like a really bizarre Mr. Rogers. So like, come in, take my regular like blazer and tie off, and then put this one on, and I have a little bit more comfortable shoes. I'm singing a song to no one.
What are you singing? What are you singing? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Pretty much, yeah. Okay. So Steve asked, do I get mad at pallbearers? I'm not sure, because like, here's the thing: a pallbearer is a person that carries a casket. So generally, no, I don't get mad at them. Yeah, I mean, if because like really, if they're not doing their job right, it's kind of my fault because I didn't give them the correct instructions.
Sure. No, I meant pallbearer. Maybe we can bring up
manager.
Yeah, maybe we could pull up a link of him in a little bit. Maybe Ben hasn't seen him. Not everybody watches this. But I think one of the first questions that I have, Ben, as you mentioned, the psychology background that you have, in working with cadavers, what psychological impact has your profession had on your life?
Okay, so first, because I know that there are lay people in the audience, just to clarify, because it is my job as the host of the Funeral Science Podcast, the cadaver, the term cadaver is actually a very specific word for a person that's been prepared for anatomical study. So generally, when we're talking about a deceased person, we call them a deceased person. Sometimes we call them remains, sometimes we call them the body, but even, if more specifically, we call them by their names. So to answer your question, I really kind of recognize the importance of having one chance to do something correctly, right? Sure. Because the things that we do, if you make a mistake, they're generally fixable, but at the same time, there's that level of bedside manner, right? Like I'm not a doctor, right? And I certainly don't think of myself at the same level of an actual doctor. Yeah, Psalmist says loved one, as another name for the person. But I try to take the same attitude, right? Like a doctor really doesn't have a chance to make a big mistake, right? Because they could potentially kill someone. So I kind of take that same attitude to caring for the people.
Sure.
And if you're thinking about like, do I have any sort of like fear of death, or does it bother me seeing death, or something like that, if that's the other sort of direction your question was meant for, you know, it again, I sort of compare it to maybe how a doctor looks at things, where they have a clinical view, and then they also try to take like a personal view, right? Because we have this thing that we call death blindness, right? Where we're just like, it's just another body to us, right? But, you know, it's important for us to remember that the people we're working with are still people, even though whatever animates them is no longer there.
Right. Okay. That's interesting that you say that about having kind of a death blindness. You know, I think I don't have. I think that's a big fear that people would normally have. So I guess when I asked that question, it came from the perspective of being around death more often. Are you more comfortable with mortality than maybe I would be? As you know, the only death I see is at the Roadkill and Jerky Emporium.
Yeah, right. Where is that, by the way? Because I really need to go there. You can tell me off air. How about that?
Yeah.
You know, honestly, death is still terrible to me. A lot of people are kind of like, it's beautiful. And yeah, it certainly is a part of life. Absolutely. But it's really the worst part of life, you know, ending it, because we're lucky to be alive. So I guess that's kind of how I view taking care of a deceased person is like, they've gone, this is the most difficult period of their life, right? It's done, you know? So.
Okay. So Sweats gave us, it's me and you now, Ben. Sweats
all right, buddy.
That lost connection to his mic. That's very interesting that you mentioned that, because, you know, I think one of the things that I don't think people realize is that death is a part of life. I know I certainly don't think that on a daily basis. You know, I think that's one of the biggest fears that I have myself. So it's kind of eerie that you know, I don't know, I have things going on in my life. You know, I don't feel, I mean, anybody could die at any moment, but at the same time, it's just like having this conversation right now is a little trippy. So let's shift gears here, Ben. While interacting with people, do you think about death more? Like,
I mean, I guess in a sense, because, like, for example, they invite me on their podcast to talk about it, right? And you know, I'm kind of like the person at the party that either everybody wants to talk to or nobody wants to talk to. So I guess sort of just by default, people ask me more about it, and so I end up talking more about it, you know. Sure. But do I like envision certain people's deaths as I'm talking to them? No, I can honestly say that I don't do that. Yeah, it's just because I mean, like, Steve, we've known each other like I don't know, 45 minutes or whatever. Yeah. But we're friendly, and I don't want to think about you dying. So I just don't. I don't know. I just don't.
Can I be heard now? Can I be heard now?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
All right. I actually wanted to pull up what Steve was referencing earlier, if I may.
Oh, this guy.
That is not me.
Okay, so he knows who it is. Cool.
That is not me. I am known as the person that has the nicely fitted suits that tends to flex on the haters and flex on the stream like this.
Ben, Ben, we don't have 2 consecutive episodes where he's not flexing, just so you know.
This is the flex section, I take it, right?
That is right.
Segment of the show where the
hey, I'm taking that, Ben. Don't copyright that. Don't trademark that. Flex section.
All right, I got it.
I'm liking that.
We don't get past 2 episodes without him flexing.
Well, if you don't mind, let me get some shout outs going in the Chizat right now. We have a lot of people who are watching right now. Thank you to Shelby, Mickey, myself, and Kathy for reacting to this on Facebook. I appreciate it. We also have in the chat Raquel. What's going on, Raquel? We also have Selma. What's going on, Selma? Actually, Selma wanted me to sing her shout out. So I guess Salma, she wanted me to sing her shout out, so that's what I'm doing right now. There you go. So anyway, let's see here. We have my mom. What's going on, Mom? Norman is in the chat. What's going on, Norman?
What's up, Norman? How are you, man?
Hell yeah. We got Lord Nemesis. What's going on, Lord Nemesis? We got Matthew. What's going on, Matthew? Who else? Of course, we can't forget Lord Ashley Brewer. Oh, shit. What's going on, LB? We also have
somehow not in Facebook jail, right? You didn't stay out of it long enough.
And we also have the wonderful Kathy Holbrook. Hello, Kathy. How are you doing tonight? We also have Jeremiah repping Beef Gang in the chat. What's going on, Jeremiah? Beef Gang runs deep. We got Checkpoint as well. And
Japanese casket. What? Okay, well, look, can we talk about that in a minute?
Yeah, sure. And we also have Karen Lee. Hello, Karen Lee. But yeah, I mean, I guess we could talk about that. That doesn't really necessarily ring a bell to my ears that there's a difference between the casket manufacturer. I think he's just talking stuff. Is he, Mr. Schmidt?
Is he?
Probably. I mean, mentioning a casket is talking about some stuff, so I'll go ahead and say yeah.
By the way, we also have Javi. Happy belated birthday, Javi. Moderators, if you could, on your respective chats, please repost Ben's social links, please. They're in the description of the video. Let's put out his anchor.fm page in the chats, please. Can we get that going? Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. But Steve, do you have any more questions for Mr. Schmidt?
I do, but let me let you have time with Ben, your former teacher, and then I'll jump in
absolutely.
where applicable.
Yeah, I have some things to say, and in no way is me cracking my knuckles referring to any maybe aggression that I may or may not have.
You've already graduated, right? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
I did, okay. Yeah, I was. I had. There are a lot of people, they haven't seen, my eyes. These are my real eyes, but they haven't seen my real eyes. And I noticed how you did appreciate how I had to leave the little Easter egg, if you will, in my little pocket there, Mr. Schmidt. Did you like that? Did you?
I did. I did. I was wishing that you had just put them right on there for you, but probably wouldn't have looked very good for like your photos, right?
Oh, a lot of people do want to rock the glasses, but very few can actually rock it like I can. I mean, look at me. I am as the self-proclaimed the epitome of confidence, as told by Mr. Norman J. Liverpool the fourth. But anyway, so I guess one of the other questions what I have is, and I'm pretty sure you've mentioned a lot of them in class. But what was one of the more crazier stories that has happened or has befalled you in your time as a mortician?
I don't know. That's tough to say because, okay. So I'll talk about, if we're going to talk about befuddling, all right. The first sort of like major restoration that I had was a man that where I used to work, there's a pretty large river that runs through the town, and along it are some train tracks. And this man and like his brother or cousin or something, they were down there fishing in the river, which was common. And they saw a turtle on the train tracks. And the guy went to save the turtle and he got hit by the train.
Oh.
And
what about the turtle?
The turtle survived.
Yay!
Right, but this guy did not. So I mean, that's it's kind of like just like these sort of random ways that people die, where it's just like this guy drunk was trying to do something good to save a turtle's life and ended up costing his own. So sort of strange things like that happen like that,
Well, when you see a more strange sort of, and this may be stepping out a tad a bit out of the realm of funeral directing and funeral business, but that's what we do here on the show here, Mr. Schmidt. We break all the boundaries and the barriers. You know what I mean? These glasses didn't come down from the heavens just for no reason. Okay, there was a purpose. But when you see some of these special, I guess maybe you could call instances of people dying, do you believe that there is a fate to all of it, or is everything just sort of haphazardly happening?
That's tough to say. I mean, that's pretty philosophical to go
Oh,
there.
yeah.
I mean, obviously, in a way, everything does happen for a reason because you can always trace why you got there to a previous series of choices, right? So, I mean, because that night of that man, right, he decided the weather was good. His brother or cousin or whoever it was available. They weren't working or they were getting off their shift or whatever they were doing. They're just going to go hang out, have a couple of beers. The turtle also ended up making a series of choices that got him on the train tracks. And then those things just sort of happen, I suppose. And then, those things intersect and they just end in someone's death.
Wow. I like the way you put that, Mr. Schmidt. But
Thank
Steve,
you.
Did you ask him? Did you ask him that one question that you showed me before? Was it how the profession has kind of changed, or has it affected his outlook? Have you asked that one yet, or no?
No, but you kind of just did. So
well, you'll go ahead, reiterate, because that fits in perfectly, and we'll bring it back to the funeral directing absolutely in a second. But I'm liking this train of thought.
Ben, this is where him and I, after 28 episodes, are very lock in step with each other. Because as soon as he asked that, I saw my in. So, one of the bigger questions that I had for you, now that you're warm, Ben, is how do you think your profession has changed your perception on life?
Well, I mean, even before I started, I really have always thought that in many ways life is valuable. I mean, think about it. There are, so many people that are never born. They're never even given the opportunity to be born, right? Even at the most cellular level. And so just to be here, we are lucky, right? Because we've already outclassed all of our earliest competitors. I've always thought it was important to do. That's why, kind of our background sounds crazy, right? I'm like, I only get this one life, so I'm going to go ahead and go for it. But what it has done is also made me take a look at the way other people's lives turn out, right? And sort of value everybody else's sort of different things that they have going on, even though I may not be familiar with any of the way that it's lived. Right. I'm constantly seeing, people, we all are, right? Oh my gosh, what is their life like? How are they living? And so it's like, well, that's how they are surviving and, they're doing their best with what they have. So that's kind of how it is, because eventually they're all going to be coming to see me until I go to see one of my own people, so
do you, do you have somebody I don't want to go to my barber. I want to go to my barber's barber. You know what I mean? Do you have somebody for when you pass that you're like, hey, Greg, when I go, you're my guy. Come hell or high water, you're going to take care of me. Is there that brotherhood within your profession or?
Oh, certainly. But I'm at the age that I feel like I have not met that person yet.
Okay.
Right. Because I'm more likely to be someone's guy right now than I am to have a guy right now or girl. Let's be clear.
Sure.
Actually, it's more likely to be a woman because, thankfully, we're finally getting a little bit of gender balance, actually a lot of bit of gender balance in the profession.
Sure.
And 70% of my students are female. So, it's just as likely to be a man or woman or whatever other gender identity that person might have. So,
sure.
I don't know. Lauren says LB's got me.
She's getting it. She's getting it. You're breaking through.
Yeah.
Can I get the full screen for a second?
Oh, absolutely, Steve.
Listen, to everybody out there, this is me reaching out to you right now. I
reach
don't know
further.
if you've noticed, but the Sweats and Steve show has come back with a vengeance. Okay.
Back.
We 2 episodes ago, so episode 26, we had Norman J. Liverpool the fourth. Episode 27, we had Tori Saylor, and now we have Mr. Benjamin Schmidt. And we are really, really bringing you some good content here. I really like what Ben is saying about appreciating it, because there's so many people who there's so many opportunities that were missed for, people behind us that, where life wasn't given a chance. And yet here we are, as individuals on this earth who you on one end of the spectrum, you could either be confident or you could be Tori. I don't know if you're watching, or you could be crazy and you could think, or you could be crazy. And you could think that Elon Musk is an alien, right? But at the end of the day, we tie it all together on episode 28. And we say here on the Sweats and Steve show, listen to Benjamin, listen to Ben Schmidt, and understand that he's telling you appreciate your life before you go see him or Sweats. Let's be real. Or Lauren. Was that Lauren in there too?
Oh yeah, you're gonna see Lauren.
And the other thing that's important to remember is that there's always someone who appreciated the person who died, right? Even if they were the scuzziest person, they're going to have at least one fan and they are going to want to have a funeral for them, right? So regardless of how you lived your life, I could be wrong. I'm sure that there are some people out there that are like, okay, this guy, it's fine, right? Like, whatever. His funeral is more of a don't let the door hit you type situation, right? Yeah. But we also have to remember that the normal person there are people that appreciate them, and it's also after the person dies, it's really important to help them too. And that's part of what that's really a bigger part of what funeral service is, right? I mean, we focus on the part where we deal with dead people because, that seems to be the thing that most people are interested in. But really the most important part is helping the people that are alive after a person passes.
Right.
I have a question, and after you answer this question, I think it will segue very beautifully into something very special at the show. But we talk a lot about the psychology, everything. A popular term that really kind of comes into play in dealing with our profession, I guess, is self-care. So whenever especially during the pandemic and stuff, there are a lot of places that were swamped. I can from personal experience, I can attest to that sort of thing. So for you, Mr. Schmidt, how many times, or in your experience as a mortician, did you have to take a step back, as the book says, realize your limitations, take a step back, take a breather, and kind of rely on a support network. How crucial was that to you in your process?
Yeah, I mean, it's still crucial to me now, right? Even though I'm not sort of working at the funeral home anymore, but I'm really lucky to have a wife that always was looking out for me, and she knew when my long days were, and I was also pretty lucky to work for a funeral home. And to anybody out there who is thinking about coming into the profession or is new to the profession, I mean, I see a couple of you guys that I know. Make sure that when you go to the funeral home and you're looking for a job and stuff, that you talk to them about having a set schedule, because your question is excellent about self-care and making sure that you have a good work-life balance and time to rest. So the place I worked, I did have a 7-day stretch where I worked every single day with only 1 day off call. But luckily at home, I had my wife who was, she knew it was going to be tough. So she made sure that things were taken care of that, would maybe be my turn, or she planned dinners that could be me leaving during them and that sort of thing. So I was pretty fortunate in having a supportive home life. And then also I worked for a group of guys that were, real family men. I mean, they truly were. So they really understood the value of, people having time off, because we worked at a busy place. And if you don't give your guys rest or your girls rest, it's not going to do you any good later. And these guys were high-level athletes in high school. And so I think they sort of understood the idea of rotating people in and off the bench to give your players the time they need so you can continue to win the game, So I think that was really, so I think that's important for not only the people who are going to get the jobs, but really that's sort of something we're trying to push on the people who are doing the hiring, right? To remind the people, if you want good people to stay, then you have to treat them good.
What is the first letter of your wife's name? Let's get some support going for her in the chat, because that sounds worthy of a lot of shout outs in the chat. What is that, Ben?
It's Jay. Yeah. So
Jay?
Jay's in the chat.
Jay's in the chat. Everybody, I want to see. We have 18 people watching. I want to see 19 Jays. I don't know how that's gonna work, but I want to see 19 Jays in the chat. There you go. I left my J. Things happen. Things happen on this show. Things that you never would have thought were possible. Absolutely. Okay, so we got some J's in here in the chat. Kathy leaves a J. Jake leaves a J. Absolutely. Let's get some more of that
I'm
going.
gonna take a picture of the J's in the chat.
Oh, here you go. J's.
Because I don't think she's watching. Yeah.
J's. Oh my God. Steve leaves a J. Fatuma with the J. What's going on, Fatuma? Sama with the J. Kathy with the LB with the J. Karen with the J. Let's go. Absolutely. Raquel with the J. There you go. There you go. Absolutely. That's wonderful. But now that we got that aside, right, since we are kind of at the halfway mark for the time that we have you, Ben, a couple of boys and girls in the A&R department. You guys know the A&R department. Can we get a picture of the A&R department, please? Okay, here we go. We got something on. There we go. Here's the A&R department at Clean Boy Industries. Look at those beautiful people. I mean, they are the ones that make everything possible. Look at that. That's Jerry right there on the right-hand side. Leona, and the names really don't matter, but they're wonderful people. Absolutely. None of this would be possible without them. So the beautiful, by the way, these beautiful people are the ones that have made this possible. Check this out.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, he's saying hello to all. He's saying hello. He says one moment. He's too busy. Oh, not enough. He's sexy and he knows it.
Yes, these beautiful people made that beautiful moment possible. And so me and them got together and we say, hey, we got Mr. Schmidt on here on the show. How are we going to make this extra special? Well, we did it. Here, let me get the full screen on this. That's not it.
That's not
it.
what
That's
we want
last
to see.
week.
That's last week.
We did it again, ladies and gentlemen. You asked for it and they provided. We have a very exclusive, a world exclusive. I want to make sure before I show this that you like and share this out. Let's get more viewers up and let's get the likes up a little bit as well, if you may. But yeah, me and the A&R department got together and decided we wanted to put a little something for the future funeral directors out there. We put together this little skit, and I hope you guys enjoy. Check it out.
The funeral director's prayer. Our Father, grant me the knowledge to wisely counsel the grieving people I serve. Grant me the skill to professionally care for the loved ones who have died. Grant me the sensitivity and awareness to understand the depth of their pain and sorrow. Grant me the strength to care without my heart breaking, so I can be of help. And yes, God, grant me the sense of humor, so at the appropriate time and in a sensitive way, I can give these mortals a moment's rest. Amen.
They did it again, ladies and gentlemen. They did it again. I don't look at me. I was just the actor, you know. They pulled it off again. They came back with another winner, if I do say so myself. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was called the funeral director's prayer, which is actually an actual legitimate prayer. That was in the funeral directing book there, Mr. Schmidt. Do you recognize that prayer?
I did. Yes. Good job. I'm glad you finally decided to read your books for your podcast.
Well, I did do that. Yes. I am a very diligent student, if I do say so myself. But yeah, there you go.
That was the eeriest video we've ever filmed.
Yeah, I see. First of all, I'd like to say thanks to Kathy for the extra J's in the chat earlier.
Oh, there you go.
Also for pointing about how, definitely did not feel weird about that at all. Yeah. No, I have to say that, that would be an excellent losing entry to some weird film festival. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we want to agree to disagree. I think that was I think we could have won Cannes Film Festival with that one. I don't know, maybe a short film, but to each his own. To each his own. That's it is what it is. It is what it is, as they say.
If you in my mid-30s, I've developed a fear of death. If you close the casket on yourself in that video, I swear to God, I was just gonna end. I was just gonna get up and be like, no. That would have been so scary to watch. That has to be so scary to watch that casket come down on you.
Honestly, I hope you had a partner with you, because you're lucky that thing did not flip over on you while you were getting in.
Yeah.
Well, I meant to put a disclaimer. I said parental discretion is advised. Do not try this at home. That's what I should have said. But it is what it is. I'm okay. I'm a stud. I'm here. I'm here now. I'm
it's
living.
Your
I'm
alien
breathing.
Powers, right?
My interdimensional alien powers, absolutely. But
so Ben, real quick on that note, Sweats was your student. Don't want to ask about anything like that. But as a teacher, are you able to tell who would be successful in their journey as a mortician and who will not? Full disclaimer: I'm going to ask if you think I would be a good mortician once you're done answering the question.
All right. So honestly, I would say that my prediction rate is probably about 60% accurate.
Okay.
Whether I'm thinking this person is not really going to make it very long, or if they are going to make it. So I don't think I have a very good record, because a lot of times I'll say, well, I really think this person is going to go far, and then kind of like they'll get burnt out. I mean, honestly, a lot of times that's what happens, right?
Sure.
And then also I've noticed with some of my younger students that they come to the school and they do well, and they graduate and stuff, and then they don't go into it right away, which is perfectly fine. So it's still like kind of a pathway for some people too. Mm-hmm. So it can be hard to predict how well people are going to stick. And then there's all sorts of other life factors too. Like, are you willing to move? What is your family? What is your family support system? Like we talked about earlier. And then of course, like, how are you supporting your family and stuff? So honestly, it's really hard. I'm surprised as much as I am vindicated, I would say. So Salma asked, what about me? I'm going to say, Salma, I think that you got a pretty good shot, as long as you find the right place for you that can manage, like we're talking about, work-life balance, right? Because like to the younger funeral directors, like that's really important. And I even put that in myself in that category. My son is 4, so I want to spend time with him and like watch him grow up and all that other stuff. So it's important to find a place to work that respects that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have a question.
And then hold on, I forgot to answer your question. So far, Steve, I can't predict, right? Because I got to see how, like, are you engaged in the material? Are you keep a good schedule for class? Because a lot of times people who aren't consistent in attendance, like, I mean, funeral directing, like, you got to be on time. There's a lot of deadlines that you have to meet. Like, that's the way that it is. So I can't predict.
I wouldn't be. I'll tell you straight up, I wouldn't be. I think when you get me in that room and I have to do my work, I'd probably freak out and be like, no, no way that this is going to happen. No way.
Well, you do seem like a kind-hearted person, and
Yeah.
you have to realize that not every person who is a funeral director does embalming and stuff like that. There are like people who get through school, do their apprenticeship. So like they embalm, like 40 people. And then after that, they just take off on the funeral directing side and figure out how to design services and, all that kind of stuff rather than focus on the actual like care of the decedent.
Sure. Okay.
We actually have some questions now from the chat, if you don't mind, Ben. Kathy, shout out to Kathy, by the way. I'll drop a K for Kathy in just a second. She says, I imagine that the hardest ones to do is the young ones that hasn't gotten a chance to live yet.
Yeah, I mean, of course, that is always difficult because the other thing is, I mean, especially now that I have a child, like thinking about, well, where could his life have gone? It is difficult, especially when, especially when, I've had cases that I'm not going to discuss live here that the child really died of, it was the parents' fault. Let me just put it that way. Right. Okay. And so that makes it really, really difficult. But the other ones that always hit me hard are the ones who are the same age as me, right? Because their life ended where mine is. Right. So, I mean, like Steve was talking about his own fear of mortality, right? I mean, here's a person that's around the same age as me and something happened, right? And something happened and they're not with us anymore. So, because, generally we do see old people, but you do get these cases that, they're the same age as you. And that's also really tough.
Okay. We also have another question from Mickey. She says, when I watched the graduation ceremony a couple weeks ago, I was really surprised by how many women were in the graduating class. They made up the majority, it seemed.
Yeah, as I mentioned, and it's been going that way for a while. I mean, I see Karen here. She's a former student of mine, and like really, as long as so she can attest, she graduated a couple of years ago. Really, as long as I've been working at the school, women have made up half or better of every class that I've taught. So yeah, there's a lot.
Do you, and I'm genuinely curious. I hope my question comes off right, because I mean this from a good space. Do you know why is there like some type of reason that you could point to saying like, here's why we're seeing the bump in female, I'm going to say candidacy, but I don't think that's the right word.
Representation.
Representation. There we go. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for a long time, ironically, the first instance of an undertaker in the United States was Blanche White, who was a woman, and that was in 1768, right? Okay. But honestly, the women have been kind of oppressed by this field, not kind of, like really, it has been an old boys club for a long time. And I think that because there was this misconception that women were not physically strong enough to move bodies, that maybe they were too sensitive to deal with emotional issues and stuff like that. But really, there's been a sea change. And I think that part of it is like just across the board, women are getting more opportunities in different fields, right?
Sure. Okay.
And then on top of that, I also feel like, you have funeral home owners and, other people that are senior members of the community. They have daughters and, maybe they don't have any sons, but they still want to pass it on to their family members. Mm-hmm. And then we've really started to understand like, with gender equality, what different types of gender, what different genders and how they bring things to. Like, that's why me personally, I really push for a role for transgender people in funeral service, because they're going to bring a different perspective. And then also, as that community develops, we're going to be servicing more people like that. Mm-hmm. Right. And so it's going to be important to have their perspective as well. So, so I think it's just sort of like a balance of diversity in general is bringing it, and then funeral service is being pushed into it. And then on top of that, there's a very famous female mortician who I don't necessarily see eye to eye on a lot of things, but I will say that she has brought a lot of good female funeral directors into my classroom. And so I will credit her for making it more well-known and getting women more interested in the field. So I feel like actually that was a pretty big catalyst for it too.
Okay.
I think Karen's comment here kind of embodies what you're saying here, Ben. Absolutely.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, she's right. She probably was told by a college counselor. And like, honestly, I still deal with funeral homes that want a guy, right? And they'll say, hey, who do you have at school? Well, I got so-and-so. I need a guy. Well, I'm going to tell you, I don't got a guy for you, right? I got plenty of good women for you. Right. So if you can get past whatever it is that you feel, they're going to do a good job.
Yeah.
And so I also try to align myself with friendships with funeral homes that, hire women and are going to treat them in a way that is, equal, So that's going to be something too. Like this influx of women, like girl power, right? They're going to change it themselves, right? Because pretty soon, those are going to be your candidates. So if you want to have someone good, it's going to be a woman,
That's exciting.
Yeah,
moderators and on YouTube and Facebook, can we please get some of the links in the description out in the chat, please? Because we are running out of time here with Ben. But I remember you saying before we started the show, Ben, that obviously you've probably been presented with a lot more questions of varying degrees of insanity. I don't know if you could call it that, but there were some myths that you wanted to dispel. What are the most like common myths that you deal with? And I'm sure you talk about a lot of this sort of material on your podcast as well.
Yeah, right. Exactly. There was the first episode that I had. I described why dead bodies can't sit up by themselves. Right. So I'm not going to go into it here because I don't want to spoil it. You guys need to go listen to it. Episode 1, Funeral Science Podcast. Like and share. That's what we do on this show. Right.
That's right. Absolutely.
And then, there I have a listener question that I'll answer too about. Do we remove the organs? I think that I probably get that question the most from people who are genuinely interested in what I do, right? Because there is sort of this crossover, the idea of an autopsy and an embalmer, right? A lot of times these two are kind of like blended together in the public's mind, which is reasonable, right? Because what do they see? They see people getting autopsies, so they figure like somehow they're related. I mean, it's perfectly fine to think that, and we certainly deal with our share of autopsies. But there are also people who are autopsy technicians who are funeral directors. But generally, embalming is going to be as literally as invasive as possible, right? That's kind of our goal, is it as a surgical procedure. And so it's not necessary for us to remove the organs on people in general, right? I mean, it just isn't. We want to keep people intact because the thing is, there's nothing we're going to do with the organs, right? We're not interested in them at all.
On that note, real quick. So I am a living organ donor, and I am an organ donor who I've donated an organ already, and I'm going to donate more organs when I leave. What happens to somebody who is a living organ donor before they pass away? What's that process? Do they come to you without what they have? I've always been curious on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's kind of two differences here. So you have organ donors. So that would be more major organs like liver, kidneys, heart, sometimes stuff like that, right? And those people, they have that sort of built into their living will to be an organ donor, because those organs have to be taken essentially straight from the body to the person that they're going to, right?
Yep.
But there's also tissue donors. And when you check yes on the tissue donor part or the organ donor part on your driver's license, you're also going to the pool for tissue donors.
Sure.
Now, the tissue donors is different. That would be long bones, skin, some heart parts if they don't get to it. Like they're not going to take the whole heart, but they might take valves and stuff like that. And so those can be harvested, or I should say procured is a better word. Those can be procured within, I think it's 12 hours without refrigeration and 24 or 48 with refrigeration. And so those can actually take it a person who's already deceased. And then what they do is they sort of like strip the DNA out of it. And so they don't even have to find a donor for those. And so those are the kind of parts that people get when they get like a cadaver ligament or whatever they want to call it. That's where that comes from.
Sure. Okay.
The link is out there in the description, and it's anchor.fm/funeral_science. Tell us a little bit about the go ahead, Steve.
Real quick, guys. So I'm going to show you how to get, hopefully my screen, I don't know how to work it. I'm going to show you how to get it. I already looked it up. I am on Apple, right? All you have to do is type in the funeral. Hold on. I don't know how to spell funeral. The funeral science podcast. And I don't know if you can see on my screen, it pops up right there.
Right.
Once it loads, the funeral science podcast. You don't want these people over here. They don't want. You need these guys right here. You need Ben Schmidt right there. Subscribe. Boom. That's how easy it is.
Steve. Thanks, Steve.
There you
see
go.
that check mark right there? And I will be listening to his shows.
Absolutely.
It's available on Spotify, Google Podcasts as well. So it's out there. And like, since we're on Anchor, I guess I don't know if this counts because, right, they give us ads, but I will say, like, if you are interested in making a podcast, I mean, you guys have really maximized it. I'm just trying to figure out how to make a good show that's like 10 to 15 minutes long, but it really makes it easy for people. If you're an idiot about making podcasts, they make it real easy for you. So if that's something that people want to do, that's a good app to just have in general. So
so that's anchor.fm/funeral_science. And you can also follow Ben, moderators, if you could post his social links to his Facebook page for the Funeral Science podcast. And you can follow Ben on Instagram at MortTracker. Before we lose it, kind of like tell about what made you want to start the Funeral Science podcast? I'm sure the creative outlet, having that creative outlet, certainly is a main reason for you, for sure.
Well, when I was a kid, and even now, but less much so, but, growing up, Stephen King was one of my favorite authors, right? And before anybody asks, it really has nothing to do with me wanting to be a funeral director, because one of my other favorite authors, which I more closely align with, is Carl Sagan. And both of those guys really explore different types of media and presenting their ideas. Like Stephen King was one of the first people that I can think of that had like a serial blog that was one of his stories. It was called The Plant. It was on the internet. It like came out in like 1998 or 97. You had to subscribe to get it. So he did that stuff. There's The Cycle of the Wolf. It's a comic book. So he reads his own audiobooks. So he's really done a lot of different things. So I guess like that's kind of my inspiration, is like, how can you communicate using different forms of media, and podcasting? It's just one of those. And I just started it. I do like it. I mean, you guys are way better at it than me. I just want to make a good show that's like 10 to 15 minutes long. That's it. Like every other week is probably my plan, So that's why, because like anybody who follows me on Instagram knows that I also make little videos about stuff, and I like to make pictures and memes and all that other stuff too. So I just try to figure out different ways to communicate. And plus, my audience is your guys' audience. How do I connect with people who are consuming their media in meme form, in podcast form, in short videos? So
absolutely. If everyone go out and support Mr. Schmidt, please go follow him on Instagram and go follow all his pages on Facebook and Spotify and Apple as well. One last question before you go, because we're running out of time here. What is in your future? Obviously you have the podcast going, but you're also an author. So what's next for you in your career, Mr. Schmidt?
You know what? I don't know, right?
Mystery.
I'm always coming up with schemes, right? So the podcast is my latest scheme, but there's a lot of stuff going on at the school that I'm involved in too. So there's a lot of professional things that I need to do, and then of course, like my son, I'm going to put a lot of effort into like seeing where he goes. Cause I mean, he's the one that's going to have to support me. So I need to raise a CEO or, like a general manager of a baseball team or an astronaut doctor, like something like that. Right. Because he's going to have to look out for me later. And I'm going to remind him, hey, when you were a kid, I did things like change your diapers and buy you Godzilla toys and that kind of thing. So
that's great.
So that's good. But yeah, you know what? I have to say, I've had fun. This was you guys have a really fun show. I'm glad that I met Sweats and you guys invited me to do this. I will continue to follow your guys' exploits. And, maybe at some point you guys will have me back. So
yeah.
I'd be willing to do that because, you guys definitely sort of blur this line between professional and unprofessional, which I certainly can identify with.
Yeah,
as you can clearly see, I'm the professional one here, if I do say so myself. But yeah, absolutely, I'm definitely down. Definitely like that idea for sure. But yeah, one more time before Ben goes, links are in the description for all his socials and stuff. Please go follow him. Go show that clean support. And yeah, Ben, it's been a pleasure having you on. And yeah, we'll have to get you on again sometime soon.
All right. Well, I'll definitely keep in touch with you guys. So
absolutely.
Yeah, and Steve, if you start following me and you have a handle that like I'm not going to recognize that this is Steve from the Sweats and Steve show, send me a DM because I'll definitely follow you back. It's tough on Instagram because people use not their names. I mean, for example, I'm Mort Tracker, right? That's not even close to my name. So, so make sure, okay?
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I will see you later. See you, Salma. See you, Karen. Thanks for everybody else, Kathy, to come out and listen to me talk for an hour. All right.
Absolutely. Appreciate it, Ben. Take care.
Ben.
They're dropping bees for you, by the way.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah. And I will be listening to the rest of this episode. So
yeah,
absolutely.
I guess if you talk trash, then I'm going to know.
No.
Well, never.
All right, guys. I'll see you later.
All right, Ben. Take it easy. All right, we got bees. We got bees from you, Steve. We got a bee from Raquel, from Kathy, from Mickey, from Matthew. Absolutely, Steve. That was pretty fucking good, man. If I do say so myself.
That was a good one.
You know what I'm saying?
We're getting better with this.
Absolutely, man.
We're getting better with this.
Let's see. Lord knows says, "Hail Ben, caretaker of the dead." Hail Ben, hail Ben. But one of the things that you brought up is that you brought up near-death experiences. You could talk about.
Yeah,
I think that'd be pretty cool to talk about. If you have near-death experiences that you want to talk about, drop it in the comment section. We'll read it off, and we'll talk about that. But you know what, Steve? We haven't had a single shower thought this entire episode, and I don't know how I feel about that.
So, well, one of the things for me is when we have a guest, unless the guest is taking a drink of water. I'm very cognizant. I want somebody's coming on the show. I don't want to give too many shower thoughts. I don't want it to be shower thought central. Okay. So on that note, shower thought.
Oh, hell yeah. Here we go. Yeah.
It's perfectly acceptable to be rude and blame it on not having any coffee yet. But if you were to replace coffee with booze in that excuse, it's not acceptable.
I agree. You know what? Who might be drinking booze right now? Jesus.
Oh God.
I couldn't ask him how much to bury my meat. What do you mean, Jesus?
I don't know. Jesus.
Kathy says, "One day I will be famous, and you will want me on there with you." Kathy, come. All right, here we go.
Come on in, Kathy. Come
on in. Give us your near-death experiences. We can also talk about strange funeral rituals.
Yeah.
That's also another thing we talk about. Come
on
on
that
in.
Note, shower thoughts.
Oh, hell yeah. Hey, here we go. Hell yeah.
Most men will receive their first bunch of flowers at their funeral.
That is true. That is
very, very relevant to this. Shower thoughts.
Oh, hell yeah.
Your brain knows where all your organs are and won't tell you. Again, relevant to this episode.
That is. Yeah, you're on point with this, Steve.
Yeah.
Does Steve want a near-death experience?
I've had too many, Jesus. You stay away from me. Look a little itchy over
Can we?
here. No, that's
Can
me.
we please?
You-
Mickey
There
says,
you
"Can we
go.
please talk more about Paul?" Oh yeah, Scott. Yeah, I get the
there you
ear
go.
behind the ear.
There you go.
Thank you. Well, yeah, it's still itchy. It's still itchy. Can you?
That's
scratch it some
good.
more?
That's enough. That's enough. Take a shower if it's still itchy. Can we
Oh,
get the
yeah,
full
that's
screen off me, please?
Okay.
Let's get Kathy in here.
All right, Kathy. I think I dropped the link in the description. If any of you guys want to come in here and talk with us and talk about your near-death experiences, link is in the description of your chat.
I think we've done this before, and we had Jake. I actually had sleep paralysis. You want to hear about that?
Yeah, let's hear about that.
All right. So obviously, this isn't a sexy story or anything like that. Why are we pulling up Paul Bearer?
I'm gonna look up shadow people from
Shadow people. Okay.
those are the people that haunt you when you have sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So yeah, it was weird, man. Like I had, it was a very normal work day, nothing too crazy. I didn't eat late. I didn't have any sweets. I didn't have anything the night before, but and right now at this stage of my life, my son sleeps in the bed with me and Fiona, and I woke up and it was very typical where your whole body is numb. You get those tinglies in your body.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The tingles.
And I can only move my eyes, and I just woke up. Is that the fake Raquel? Who is that? Which Raquel is that?
No.
Is that fake
Continue,
Raquel? I
continue,
can't ever tell.
continue.
We'll get on that in a second. Raquel, I think you're the fake Raquel. But but yeah, so I woke up, couldn't move, could only move my eyes, and then how you can't speak. I had that. I mean, it's happened to me before, but my theory on it is that my brain is moving faster than my body. And my brain is just like, wake up, and my body's like, hell no. And until they reconcile with each other, that's what that is. I didn't see any shadow people. I don't think that that's what's going on. I don't think. And then obviously I look it up. I'm as inquisitive and excited in all of this. Yeah, you are the fake one. That's how the fake one comes.
No.
But yeah, so then I wake up and then I research it, and I'm just like, yeah, there's no way there's some demon lady on top of me doing some crazy ritual. Like, that's not happening. That's not happening.
Jesus says Steve actually did great tonight. Looked a little more alive, like he got some good. We need this energy more often. Good job, Steven Sweats. Keep up the good work, bud.
Hey, Zeus, you're my favorite person I haven't met in 2021. So
Raquel thinks you hate her though. Why do you hate Raquel? Can we put this? Is this a myth or no?
I don't hate Raquel. I like to mess with people. I like to have a little bit of back and forth and banter with people. I think it's good for the show. Sometimes people get upset by it. Other times people engage me in it. Either one that you want to go. If you want me to stop talking about you, if I will. If you want to engage me on it, I will. It's fine. It's whatever you want. It's okay.
She says you dislike her. Is that more like it?
I don't dislike. It's not that I dislike you. It's just you're not the real Raquel.
Oh my gosh. Mickey says this morning I woke up to my arm throwing a punch because I was trying to beat a velociraptor in my dream. That definitely sounds like a near-death experience to me if I ever heard one.
I don't know.
I'm actually want to look up some near-death experience stories here on YouTube. Let's see.
Sure.
Near-death experiences.
I like the Chris Farley
there's compilations.
I think we looked at some of these.
Yeah, we have, but they probably update a lot of the stuff too. All right, here, let's see. Let's take a look. This is usually interesting.
Okay, so this guy's aside from the other train tracks. It's on the wrong side.
Holy rollers! Jeez Louise!
That is nerve-wracking.
Oh shit!
Well, time out. Let's stop there for a second.
Sure.
Let's go back.
Okay, rewind it. Instant replay.
Yeah.
Okay, should I slow it down or the same pace?
What is the plan? What is the plan with this situation? You're going to go forward. You're not going to look to the right. You're not going to look to the left. You're just going to go forward blindly. In that situation, Steve reverses, and that's what Steve does. You know what I mean?
That seems like a pretty fair assessment.
I
do see so myself.
And the person taking the thing is going, go forward, go forward. Yeah, that's murder. Okay, that is murder. Where is that at? That looks like Florida.
Shout out to Raquel Garza that we have in the chat. What's going on, Raquel?
Is that the real Raquel?
It is another Raquel. It's another
How many
Raquel.
Raquels? I think there's only 2.
Yeah, we'll probably have a third one at this rate.
Okay.
Okay, that's why you never stay on the tracks. 1,000 ways to die. If you know, you know. Let's see. I got Paul Bearer on the mind now, and I'm going to need to go look up a compilation of his best moments at some very point. One of the things that kind of stuck with my mind from the last episode was here we'll kind of go through this, but it was Walmart people.
Oh yeah, I rewatched it, and Walmart people was a highlight.
Okay, what do we have? What do we have here? What's going on? So we have these 2 men that are climbing onto this glacier.
This doesn't look like a good idea.
No, it doesn't. But
if
these
you
are
told
trained
me like,
professionals.
"Hey, let's go do this," I'd be like, "What are you joking?"
They're trained professionals, and if they fuck up, they that means more for me.
And the boat is creaky.
That boat looks like it was made with busted ass plywood. All right, here we go. That boat is going bye.
Oh boy.
What are
on
they
purpose?
doing?
Oh no, the thing is moving away.
They're adrift.
Holy shit.
Damn. What do you do?
Ciao.
What did they not realize that they were moving away?
Yeah, it's kind of. Hey, buddy, stop picking at the ice. Hey, buddy, turn around. Oh shit!
Oh
shit!
Oh shit!
Holy
Oh
shit!
damn! I didn't see that coming.
Holy shit!
Ooh,
I felt like it was. I didn't. That's a twist of events. That was of events.
That was. I mean, it was kind of cool looking the way that the glacier flipped on itself. But, all right, let's see. What's this? Another car crash type deal?
Sure.
All right, hell yeah. What's going on, Steve? Hell yeah.
You know you're an adult when you miss trash day and it ruins your entire week. That happened in the Villa Real household. That happened. We missed trash day and like there was fucking like we had to go put it in. I had to like go drive around and shit and go to the back of grocery stores and throw out the garbage. It was awful.
Oh, that's terrible. I feel your pain.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. What's this one? Again, if you have oh shit. Oh shit. God dang. Oh damn.
The thing
is getting me.
The thing is like with some of these, and can we just get to your mom's comment for a second?
Yeah, sure.
You see where she says an inmate threatened my life today. Does that count?
Oh my god.
Let me tell you, and Apple, let me tell you why it doesn't count, because I'm pretty sure you threatened them back.
Oh, okay, well, that's a fair point.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't just like a, hey, I'm gonna do this to you. I'm pretty sure you were like, oh yeah, oh really, oh really. Let me tell everyone out there, Ann Apple is tough. Okay,
as nails.
Yeah, tough as nails.
If you still want to come in here and share your near-death experiences or whatever, I'm gonna drop the link again in the chat for you. There you go. Let's keep watching. Let's see. Damn.
There's a lag.
I mean, this looks cool as hell, but oh damn! Ooh. Damn. Whew. I mean, that's kind of cool.
Is
like
it
in a movie stunt kind of way?
That's not cool whatsoever. That's scary as shit. This doesn't look like it's gonna end well.
Oh,
holy!
Shit. Oh, damn!
That's just a bad day all around.
That's a bad day.
You know what? Okay, like, look, wait a second. I know people are gonna say like, Steve, you can't say this because you weren't in the moment. You know what I mean? Like, but the guy runs backwards, but clearly the shelter is towards the door. If you rewind it,
yeah, let's see here.
And I know everyone's gonna be like, Steve, that's post like you would in the moment. And I'll give you my in the moment in a second.
He sees it.
He's going backwards. He's going towards the problem. Go toward. You see this? Like you see that little viaduct over where the door is opening right now? Go that way. And I know everyone's going to be like, "Well, Steve, it's easy to say after the fact." Well, I remember one time there was this.
Yeah, there you go, Cat.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is it me or is it you? Hold on. Can you hear me? Is it just me? Can someone say in the chat? Is it just me or somebody notify me?
It's me.
Okay. One time I was driving down the 290 with Fiona, and this car like came right in front of me and like blew a tire right in front of me. So I did some Jason Bourne shit and I swooped right out of the way.
Damn.
Just missed it by like that much. So I know what everyone's saying, like, well, Steve, you can't say that after the fact.
They're all
Steve.
saying that right now.
Yeah, that's what everyone is saying right now. Real Raquel, fake Raquel, all of them.
All right, let's see what this is. Let's see. All right, we have
that's a bad day.
That is a bad day. Oh, yeah.
Like he was
Party! Hey! Oh, shit. That's. Oh, damn. Ooh.
What did she think was going to happen? You got to commit.
Get enough air on that one.
You got to commit.
Oh, and he's under the ice. This guy's swimming under frozen ice on a lake. Ooh,
what is his friend doing?
He kind of looks like a weird mutated fish if you look at it.
I'm having a hard time with this one.
What the heck? Oh my god.
And what? The friend doesn't know?
The dog was doing more than the friend was. Jesus.
You're just sitting there holding the camera? That has to be fake.
Damn. He was on fight or flight right there for a little bit, Steve. This would be really weird, on the replay. That would be really weird for the audio listeners on Spotify. Just just these moans coming from this man. All right, let's see what we have here. We have a plane flying over the freaking mountains. Jeez.
Oh,
it's that Agent Orange. Ooh, damn, that was pretty badass.
Let's see.
Okay, what's this? What do you have here? Looks like a quaint little village, little neighborhood. Nothing suspicious here. Until boom! Damn!
How does that physically? How does that happen? Can we go back to that?
I do want to see that actually. Let's see.
Physically,
instant replay.
Let's go like frame by frame.
Okay, frame by frame. All right, so I like this scene. This looks like a very a chill morning. Let me look over here to the left of this truck. Boom!
How does he projectile like that?
Steve, it was probably the law of physics. If I were
That's
to
what I'm
put
saying.
my,
Like physically,
if I were to put my educated self, my educated brain to work, I would say it's definitely the laws of physics are in play here.
Worst of all, in this situation,
yes.
You see where the glass is?
Yeah. Let me go back. Hold on.
Yeah. You see where the glass is? The orange car and the silver car, when they back out, they're going to get flats because there's no way you get up all that glass.
This is
that's the worst thing of all.
This is unacceptable. That can't happen. That's probably the biggest tragedy of them all.
Yeah.
What's up, Lord Vanatra? What's going on, man? Didn't get to shout you out yet. I'd like to get Lord Vanatra's take. Can we get Lord Vanatra in here to talk about what his thoughts on death and or near death experiences are? I'm gonna drop that for you, Lord Vanatra. I miss you, man. I miss you giving on the panel, man. I'd like to talk to you a little bit. You know, if you can't, you can't. That's okay. But okay, let's see what's next here. All right. So we determined that the glass is the biggest tragedy of that video. Now we're looking at this glacier, not a glacier. This river. Okay, he almost wiped out. What's this? All right. Oh damn, he's gone.
Uh-oh. He's underneath.
He's gone. Shit.
That has to be scary.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's pinned, like.
Yeah. Or did he come up? He came up. Or no, that's somebody else.
Damn.
Oh, shit. How is he pinned?
I don't know. It must be like his boat or something is pinned.
Shit. And you can't stop it either.
Oh no.
You need a couple beavers to stop that. This is not going to be good.
We have Duck Dynasty here. We got Duck Dynasty. He's on a hover thingy mabob.
You know how hard it is to get Cy Robertson on a show?
Tell us about that, if you will. Tell us about that. I know you had mentioned it to me before.
I'm chasing down people left and right. We got our stimulus money in my household, and I procured a little bit to get some talent on here, some notable faces, and I reached out to Tom Brady. I reached out to Cy Robertson. I just reached out to people that I think would be good on the show, at least people that I want to talk to.
Absolutely.
And Cy Robertson's people came back to me and said, he's in contract and he can't do a podcast right now. And I'm just like, what the fuck does that got to do with the Sweats and Steve show? Tom Brady's people, it's like he's managed by like the Henry Bauer group or some shit like that. Same people who managed Meghan Markle and got her on Oprah. Well,
really,
I figured out how Oprah booked Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. So I said, and then I looked at who I can book through that website. And then I saw Tom Brady on it. Well, I reached out to Barack Obama, but that wasn't happening. And so I reached out to Tom Brady because I figured, okay, a couple $100, 15 minutes. I mean, sure, why not? They never got back to me, but I'm trying. We'll get somebody on here soon. I'm still after Hannibal Buress. I'm after some of these people.
We'll get one. We're just in a big old Steve. We just gotta reel one in. We gotta reel one in, Steve. Thank you to Jesse Levick for liking the stream, for Jesus, Tom Cruise, Fatuma, Karen Lee, Shelby, Mickey, and myself, obviously, for liking the stream. I'm sure there's a lot of people who liked it on YouTube as well. I can't see it on the counter from my end, but thank you for watching and hanging out with us. I appreciate it. Let's see here. So we have this Taiwan rock slide that Jeremiah asked us to look up. Let's see. Is this it? Is this it right here? Let's see. Okay, what we got going on here? We have a McDonald's. It's a rainy day. Oh, a very rainy day in Taiwan. Looks like on the side of a giant mountain. Oh no, is that mountain coming down, dude? No way. That'd be crazy.
I don't see it yet.
Hold on.
Oh my god.
Oh shit.
Holy shit.
That's a big ass
rock,
god,
no.
Steve.
It's poor
That's
people.
A big ass rock.
And then he backs up.
Around in reverse, man. Hey. I mean, he could go around it. But we weren't there in the moment. Steve. Okay.
Is Javi still in the chat?
I don't know. Is Javi still in the chat?
Javi, are you in the chat? Can you ask Libby to tell us how much insurance will pick up on this? Javi,
yes,
can you
please.
get Libby in here, please?
Please, for God's sake.
What type of insurance should these people have?
Shit. We're gonna need all these shirts we can get. Jeremiah says, if you look closely, you can see the rock fall from the top of the mountain at the beginning. No way. Shit, I want to see this again. Let's see. You know what? Yeah.
Yeah,
Look,
I see it.
Yeah. Look at that. Holy shnikey. Look at that.
That's scary.
Damn. Just think about this big old rock that's probably been there a hell of a long time. It's just like, well, it's time to move. Time to fucking mosey on down.
It goes into what Ben was saying earlier, because
yeah,
he was saying about how a series of events lead to, you know, certain things, and it's pretty interesting because sometimes some things are out of your control, right? Like,
you already had me, Steve. I'm already looking up the butterfly effect.
No, that movie was nuts. Don't do that.
No, not the movie. The theory. The theory. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's see here.
It's not going to get us taken down again, right?
Shit, that's a good question. I don't know.
Because my mom wanted to watch the stream the next day, and she started yelling at me. She goes, "Where the fuck is the stream?"
No.
You know how my mom is. She was all like, "Where the fuck is the stream? I want to watch the stream." She was yelling at me, and I was just like, "Mom, I don't know. We were watching some video, and they got taken down for a couple days. Like, Sweats is refuting it." She goes, "Well, you better fucking refute it better. My day off."
All right, let's see. Let's try this video. Let's see what happens.
Right.
The concept of the butterfly effect is attributed to Edward Norton Lorenz, a mathematician and meteorologist who was one of the.
So if anyone is just kind of wondering, why are we looking this up? Well, basically it goes into what you were saying, Steve. What we were talking about with Ben earlier, how one thing can kind of lead to another, and like this whole sort of like sequence of events. I think it's pretty interesting. Let's see. Well, Jake says, I just had lunch at the local McDonald's, pulled out, and boom, a giant rock decided to roll off the mountain. That was pretty much it. I think that's enough action for one day, if I do say so myself, Jake.
Jake is fun.
First proponents of chaos theory. The butterfly effect is a term used to describe how small changes can affect large, complex systems. The term comes from the suggestion that a butterfly in Brazil flaps its wings, and a few weeks later, Texas has tornadoes instead of clear skies. As with the butterfly, the same could be said of any of us. Not only are our possibilities great, but also we are often completely unaware of the impact of our actions. The butterfly effect is a reminder of the delicate balance we walk daily. Though we rarely
You hear that, Steve? The delicate balance. We walk daily. Like this. Like this. Right, Steve? The delicate balance that we walk daily?
I don't know that a butterfly flaps its wings in Texas, and then in Brazil they get. I don't think winds care. I don't think that's how nature works.
Hold on, let's see what they have to say. Let's see.
The time to realize that our words, our moods, our behaviors touch all of the people with whom we come in contact. Minor actions can create major results. And just like the mathematical theory, we cannot predict the outcome. You are a small factor in the world. Don't get down about it. We're all small, but even the smallest actions can create ripples that change the world. We can't anticipate the ripples, but we can still flap our wings knowing that our actions might help create a storm of activity. So let's check some of the small events that change the world. Gavrilo Princip fired into Archduke's open
Should you
car,
pause
killing
it every
both
couple seconds?
Yeah, I probably should do that. No, I was thinking about it, but yeah. Steve, what's one little thing? If out of all the little things that you can remember, Steve, what do you think the most littlest thing that you've ever done probably stood the chance to be the most impactful? That's a good question.
I actually I have a couple. Okay.
Oh shit. Okay.
I have a couple. So I think the first one is, and this is something I talk about a lot, is donating my kidney to my father when he was alive. Obviously, you know, that had, you know, effects and whatnot. And then he was able to meet my son and, you know, all that stuff. So there's that. That's something that I did that, you know, helped the future. You know, and especially with regards to the professional relationships that he still held at the time, with regard to like the relationship he held with my mother, you know, just different things like that, right? So, you know, there was that. I think the other funny thing in this world, and I've said this before, but now that we're on butterfly effect, I think it makes a little more sense. One of the most ironic things that happened is when I was previously a boxer, and I was training in the Golden Gloves, again, fighting the Golden Gloves, I knocked the guy down twice. He knocks me down once, but I lost the fight because I spit my mouthpiece out twice in the fight, and he won on a 1-point split decision. Right? If I'm ever able to upload the fight, we can watch it. Wasn't my best. Yeah, wasn't my best performance, but very clearly, you know, you could see where, like, I'll walk you through my logic. We'll watch the fight in full, and then I'll walk you through my logic frame by frame. But you can clearly see that I won the fight. Wasn't my best performance. You know, I got a little in my head and whatever, but so I lost the fight. That next Friday, I go out with Fiona, and then our relationship starts to blossom. And now I have a son sitting upstairs or sleeping upstairs. So that's
blossom,
one,
like a caterpillar to a butterfly.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, where it's just like, you're not going to dance again, are you? You're not going to fly again, are you?
Sure, I have. You know, it has been a while since I've flown, but no, I won't fly today. But by the way, Steve, what'd you think of my what'd you think of the? I mean, not my, but what'd you think of the A&R department production today? What do you think of that?
Mickey wants to know what A&R stands for. Can you go back to that picture real quick?
Let's go back.
Can you go back to that picture real quick?
Here we go.
One of the things I want to point out about this picture is look at how
beautiful everyone is.
Look at how hard you're pushing your fists into the table.
Papa don't take no mess. Papa don't take no mess, Steve.
Yeah. You're literally
these guys
sitting there like
great workers, but they gotta know who's boss, Steve.
This is such a cast of characters. Can you imagine being a model and being like, hey, we want you to be on this picture? Like, what do you think these people are doing right now?
Well, smiling and sitting. I can tell you that for sure.
Can you imagine if somebody blinks and how everyone else is mad because their cheekbones hurt? God damn it, Bob. Son of a bitch.
Well, I never blink.
Yeah.
I never blink, but
of course.
Should we watch the video again, Steve? Should we go by through the play-by-play?
Yeah, let me.
What did you guys think? Did you guys like the A&R department's video? Did you like it? What did you guys think of it? I think it was pretty in depth and gratifying, to say the least. If I do say so myself, but. Should you want to take a look at it, Steve?
Let's do it, and let's talk about it.
Okay, let's talk about it.
That was scary, dude.
So we're gonna have it was great. The filming process. Well, you'll have to go talk to the Regis and Leona and AR to go figure what the filming process was like, but. Once I play it, we can't really stop, otherwise it plays over again. So let's go through it, and then we'll kind of give a little stream of consciousness afterward. Ladies and gentlemen, let me flash this one more time. The lovely Clean Boy Industries A&R department decided to put this together. And here we go. The funeral director's prayer. Here we go.
Can I unmute myself, and can people hear me then?
Heard. You could be heard now.
Okay, now I can be heard.
Okay, so let's see here.
First of all, I don't know where this voice came from, but it was pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
To wisely counsel the grieving people I serve.
This is very much like Blair Witch Project.
Really? You think so?
Yeah, that's my initial one. And seeing the casket, I don't know if anybody else makes it. The gloves was a great touch.
Oh, tremendous. Tremendous.
The snacks. And Apple, did you really leave him some snacks? And who the hell's eating popcorn, unpopped popcorn? Cavity King. What is that for?
You're not supposed to drink it. Basically, that's the gist.
Oh god, I think I figured out what it is for.
Oh shit!
Okay, why are you taking the tissue and the thing with you?
Because I'm crying. That's why.
Okay, well, yeah. Okay.
We have a guest here. Hold on,
least more.
I'm gonna bring in the guest.
I was thinking to myself, why is the Cavity King up by your face right now? I was thinking to myself, if he closes this casket on himself, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Okay. There you go. Okay. Thank you. Oh, so you guys liked it, did you? Okay, that's wonderful.
I think it was a winner.
All right.
Finn.
I think it's a real hit.
Finn, is it Finatra now? Is that our guest?
No, our guest is
Jake?
Well, introduce yourself, kind guest.
Take the picture off. Ray.
Okay. Ray, are you there? Hold on. Wait, yeah, what's going on, Ray? I think you muted yourself. You gotta mute yourself.
I was just watching.
Oh, okay, absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very special occasion. I wasn't expecting this at all. We have Ray, one of my fellow classmates, has joined the stream. This is fantastic. Here we go. There you go.
Hi, Ray.
Hello.
How's it going, Ray? So what'd you think? What'd you think of the interview? What'd you think of the? Oh, hello.
Okay. Okay.
Selling my dress pants for work tomorrow.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's great. How are you feeling today, Ray?
Feeling great. How are you, Sweats?
Oh, I am fantastic. I'm having a wonderful time. What'd you think of the interview? Do you think it was fair?
I mean, I wasn't really in it, so I can't say.
Oh, well, you're gonna have to go back and rewatch it. But yeah, we had Ben on. And I think it was pretty educational, informational. Steve, what would you say? I think that was pretty damn good. If I do say so myself.
I thought it was.
Steve, you're up.
I thought it was a really good. Ray, I'm kind of freaking out right now because you showed me a naked man.
What's wrong, Steve?
I don't know, like why. Why are we in the bed with naked people?
It's okay. It's just, I was a little camera shy too,
Yeah.
But not anymore. I do my thing. I do my thing and I run. But
yeah. No, I thought it was a good episode. I thought it was a really good interview. It's interesting that we're getting better with this. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So Ray, you and I were classmates. If you will, what would you make of your time in mortuary school?
Mr. Luke, you know how I feel.
Well, I mean, I'm still waiting for a Google review. I haven't seen anything. I haven't got no links, no nothing.
I'm glad to be out of there. Good education, but I'm glad to be out of there.
Okay. So
what was your
I got a
experience?
beautiful apprenticeship. Started right away. Ready to move on.
Absolutely. Steve, what'd you have to ask Ray?
So, what was your experience in mortuary school?
Well, it's been a stressful year with COVID, so a lot of it was like on lockdown and not being able to be actually. One of the reasons I went to Worsham was to have the family connection that we have as classmates there, because it's such a small school, and we didn't get that experience except for 6 months, 1 day a week. We got a couple hours together, and it wasn't really the traditional experience that you get at Worsham, so it's not really fair to say, I guess.
Okay.
Well, we have some R's in the chat for you, for Ray. We have Jake leaving an R. We got an R for you as well here, and I dropped the R for you as well. But if you were to give some potential students in the chat, let's say, hey, hold on, hey, I want to go to mortuary school. Darn tootin'. What should you tell them? What's the best advice that you could give to them?
Be committed. Don't overwork yourself for the year, and build as many relationships as you can, because it's a hard year. It's hard school, and you have to really lean on your classmates to get through it. And if you're not close and you don't make any friends, it's only going to be even harder. And you have to go into this career with the right mindset and be committed. That's for sure. It's not easy. I mean, this takes a toll on us.
So you're basically saying, lean on me when you're not strong. Na-na-na-na.
Feels beautiful.
To carry on. There you go, Ray. Let's see.
Hey, Ray. Let me ask you something. When you're in mortuary school with Sweats, was he singing like this? Was he just like randomly start singing "Lean on Me"?
That's right.
It wasn't random. He got put on the spot at the worst times to literally stand up in the middle of class and just sing.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that did happen a few times now that I think about it.
Hey, Ray, do you want a shower thought?
What's that?
Do you want a shower thought?
Oh, you got to hit her with one now.
You know, I think I could pass.
Okay, well, nonetheless,
What?
you're gonna get shower thought.
Yeah, there you go. You have to.
Ray, this is specifically for you, okay? Art is how we decorate space. Music is how we decorate time.
Say it again, Steve. Say it again.
Art is how we decorate space. Music is how we decorate time.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. That's
See,
beautiful.
and you thought that it was going to be something weird, Ray. You thought you don't trust me, Ray.
You know, you never know. You never know. Guys can be weird animals.
No. I'm a respectable human being, Ray.
So Kathy's leaving. Good night, Kathy. Let's drop one more K for Kathy in the chat, please.
Bye, Kathy. Hope all is
good night to Kathy. Any other comments, Ray? Any other stories that you'd like to share from the experience? Anything that you need to get off your chest? I don't know if Ben is still watching, but this could be interesting. Yeah, drop that down there. Yeah, you gotta make sure to put that peace sign. Here you go.
I think I froze.
No, you're good. I mean, you're good from our end.
There's been a few thoughts, but I'll keep them to myself right now.
Raquel said to you, "I'm with her. You never know with guys." What do you think
Guys,
about that, Ray?
I don't. My wife is watching. You know what I mean? Like, even if she wasn't watching, she could see it on the replay. Somebody could message her. I got a lot to lose. You think I'm going to sit here and just say some crazy stuff to cost me my job at the Roadkill and Jerky Emporium?
Oh no,
it's not going to happen.
That cannot happen.
You know.
So what?
Come on, fake Raquel.
What does the future hold for Ray? What does the future hold for you in the business?
Hopefully a lot. I hope to be successful, and I hope to be a favorite wherever I work, and I hope that families know that they can always come to me, and I will always be looking forward to taking care of bodies, making them look good and the best that they can be, and that's kind of my goal, I guess. So just get through day by day and strive to be the best person I can be.
Damn.
Gotta go into this with the right mindset.
Damn. Maybe you should be a motivational speaker, Ray.
Not one of the best speakers here, no.
What was your first experience with as somebody said earlier, a loved one, cadaver, deceased person? What was your first experience? What were your feelings for that?
Well, my first experience in the business,
okay.
We took care of my grandma until she died. She was in the house with us, and I remember how sick grandma looked, and then the funeral director came and picked her up from her house, and my dad actually helped carry her out. And then at the funeral, she looked so good, and I said to the funeral director, who knew my dad well, I said, "How'd you do it? How'd you make grandma look so good?" And he said, "Now's not the time to talk about it. If you ever want to know more, give me a call."
Sure.
And then a couple months later, I lost one of my friends, Ryan, in high school, and I was standing over his casket at his visitation, and I remember he didn't look like himself, but I knew he was in a real traumatic car accident, and something told me that they did the best that they could do in the condition he was in. And it was like at that moment that I kind of just knew. That year of my senior year of high school, I went through about, I think it was 10 or 11 close deaths to me. And I guess when you go through death that much, you can't help but think about it.
Yeah.
And so I was graduating high school, signing up to be a welder. I just bought all my welding stuff, and I was headed off to trade school and do a class and work for a company. And then I had multiple knee surgeries, and I said, I'm going to see what the funeral industry is all about. I'm really curious. Sure. And so I called that funeral director, and he said, "We're doing a case study right now. Come on over." And I didn't even know what that meant. Sure. Turns out a case study is an embalming. And so I go there to see what's going on, and I walk in, and I'm working on a dead body. My very first day in the funeral home, I'm in there embalming with somebody.
Really?
So, and then he just started calling me. He's like, we're doing a visitation. Can you come help? And then I started going on night calls with him, and I just did a bunch of work for him for about 3 or 4 years. And then I left there. I became a nanny for a few years, and then I went to Worsham, and I just actually landed a really nice apprenticeship. I work 4 days a week, and pretty happy where I'm at so far. I've only been there since Monday, so.
I wanted
that's
to ask
exciting.
you. I wanted to ask you what the boards were like, but before you answer that, Big Baby Berg says, "How does he have those glasses on during this convo?" Big Baby Berg, man. I just do what I do. What can I say, my friend? Don't knock it to your rocket. You know what I'm saying, Big Baby Berg. But it's good to see you here, my friend. I hope you consider becoming a clean one today and liking and following. Thank you very much. But anyway, Ray, the boards. How'd that go?
So I have my arts board on Friday. We'll see how that goes. The science board, you saw online. I took that. They give you 3 hours to take the test, and I was in and out in 30 minutes.
Really? No way.
But it's tricky. They word things tricky. Know your definitions. Know your terms. And not one of the questions was a question that was on the Worsham capstones.
No way. But like the material, so long as you know the material well, like you can like navigate it though.
Yeah, you have to know what the words mean in the questions. You have to have an understanding of your chemicals and how to handle your bodies, and understand it. Don't make it a memory game. Understand what is being said and why what is being said, and then you'll make it through the boards, no problem.
Okay. All right.
So
this is good.
You kind of came on here.
Open your books, flip through flashcards, make flashcards, read through the glossaries.
Yes. This is all making sense. Absolutely. What were you gonna ask, Steve?
So you came on here. We hit you with a little bit too much. So apologies on that. Just wanted to say, sorry for the losses that you had in your life thus far. But it seems to me like you possibly have found your calling. Is that something that was that something that the way that you would describe it?
I can say I hope so. So far, it feels like it.
Sure.
I look forward to work every day, and I don't look forward to the exhausting days. My year at Worsham, I worked at a really high volume funeral home, and
sure.
I was working 18 to 19-hour days and up all night going on house calls, and it was very physically demanding, emotionally demanding, and that was really hard. I almost considered another career. But if you end up in a place that cares about your employees, that takes care of you, then you'll take care of them and you'll take care of the families, and you'll look forward to work every day.
Sure. Okay.
It's important.
What was the what was the low? What was the low when you considered dropping out?
Right about in third quarter, when things at work started to pick up and get heavier, and then my roommate got fired, and that only put more work on us and more shifts. And then right about when capstones and labs started, and it became too much. There was an overload of assignments in the third and fourth quarter, and trying to balance all those assignments outside of class, and then trying to balance the work life, trying to balance a relationship, because I moved 6 hours away from home, and this was the first time we'd ever been apart. And then just my mental health, it was just declining rapidly. I was 6 hours away from home, away from everybody and everything that I knew, with no money, because you're living in a funeral home getting paid shit wages. It was overwhelming. There was no self-care time in there, and the burnout happened really fast. And I thought, is this what I want my life to be like forever? And everybody at home, especially my other half, Brett, who's laying next to me, he just kept saying, just fight through it, just get through it.
Let's get some bees in the chat.
Yeah, let's get some bees in the chat going for
bees
Brett.
In the chat.
Absolutely. He's a trooper.
Yeah. We love significant others on this show.
Yeah, we do. We really do.
He pushed me and constantly told me I could do it when I thought I was going to fail exams, and failed capstones, and when I thought I wasn't going to make it through, he just told me, just anything you need, I can help you, and just get through this, and you'll be home soon, and we'll be together, and we'll get our lives back on track. And I did it. I made it through.
That's awesome.
I think I graduated second in the class, right underneath Bell, and pushed myself beyond limits I thought I could. So when you think you can't do it, just hold out a little bit longer, and you'll make it through.
There you go.
That's wonderful.
Probably
That's
was the
wonderful.
hardest year ever.
Really?
Yeah. If I would have known that school was going to be as hard as it was, I wouldn't have done it. But I'm
Really?
thankful I did now.
Good.
That's wonderful.
I think you can agree, Luke. It wasn't an easy year.
Sweats. His name is Sweats.
Yeah, who's that? Who you're talking about? That sounds like the guy who changed the oil on my car the other day. I don't know who that is. But any other words of encouragement, advice, remarks, comments?
Hit your books and capstones, man. Get done. Anything you need, send me a message. I will help you.
Okay. Well, I got through the arts one. I got through the arts capstone already.
You're in the hard part, and I can help you with the science. I can't help with the arts.
No. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
So explain to me, arts, science, I would imagine, would be everything to preserve the body internally.
It's knowing your chemicals, anatomy, chemistry, microbiology, pathology, embalming, and restorative art.
Okay. And then
the arts is religions, laws, accounting, your funeral directing terms, and psychology and counseling.
Okay. That is a lot. At the Roadkill and Jerky Emporium, you make them fly, we make them dry. That's ours. That's our motto. That's what we do. That's what we do at the Roadkill and Jerky Emporium.
Yeah. I mean, there were times for myself where I figured, hey, I should just hit up Steve and ask him about see if there's any open positions at the Roadkill and Jerky Emporium.
I'd rather deal with bodies. As long as it's not at the medical examiners.
No, that's right. Well, I mean, you couldn't. I'd rather eat the jerky than. Yeah,
let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about cannibalism.
Mickey says a wide range of skills funeral directors need to have. Why? She's talking like Yoda right now. That happens every now and then here on the show.
Yeah.
But it's true. People complain that funerals are so expensive and blah 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 blah, but they don't realize the overhead that a funeral home has. And people don't realize the education we go through. When I tell people that I just graduated as a funeral director, I always am like, you have to go to school for that? I thought you just learned it. I thought you just worked under your dad. And that's not the case. It's a lot of education, and the national board exams are no joke. So
yeah. Well, one thing I was gonna ask, kind of like a general question I was gonna ask Ben, but I didn't get a chance to ask it, was like a lot of the how like in what was it then Arvidsson's class, sometimes we learn about like death defying, death accepting, and stuff like that. I mean, certainly a lot of the I don't know, I wouldn't even say necessarily disinformation. But like,
I'm in
also,
the dark now. The lights just went out.
That's fine. That's great. You look fantastic. Absolutely. But, but yeah, like, I mean, there's just like a lot. It's very niche is the word I would use. Like what, the industry itself. And it's like, it's very unassuming to a lot of people. You know what I mean?
It's very different in each culture too. That whole death denying, death accepting, death defying. America is such a death denying culture, and we have to, being in the business, you start to become, I don't want to say numb, but you start to become used to it a little bit more.
Yeah.
And you always have to keep in the back of your mind that they're somebody to somebody, and death denying, we still have to be careful how we talk about death in the real world. We're so used to it, but the United States still doesn't like to talk about it and hear about it. It's still such a taboo subject that we're trying to get out of a little bit and be more educational about it. It's not a bad thing. It's part of life. It's one thing that's guaranteed.
Do you think that will change as like a new generation of funeral directors and stuff come up? Do you think that'll change, or do you think that'll always be the case?
I think that our new generation is becoming more open about it and willing to talk more about it. And
Yeah.
the new generation is more curious about death, where the older generation in the business and out of the business, they're still like, oh, we don't talk about that, and that's so secret. But what we do isn't really secret. What we do is helpful and meaningful, and it's not a secret. Stop hiding it and stop making people afraid of it. So I can only hope that we can start to become more open and educational about it. And I do hope our generation can turn that around at least a little bit.
Damn, that's actually a pretty good response there. Would you ever try to like seek I guess seek more status in the industry? Would you ever like want to become a part like of the like take some seat at the NFDA or some stuff like that? You have any aspirations toward that, or just you're content with kind of with what you have going for you now?
You know, I've had a lot of people say like, oh, you should start a TikTok or you should start a page and talk about it and answer questions. But because the older generation is still so secret about it, it scares me because they're bashing us. And unless I own my own business and I'm my own boss, it's not really a risk to take. I mean, the NFDA is a little bit different. I think it would be cool to do presentations and stuff to funeral directors, but I think it's still a little too scary in the public to risk your future and job because they're still so judgmental about it.
What's the difference from your perspective? The difference between old school and new school?
Well, I have a lot of like old school things that I can agree with. That, you know, I still think it's such a respectable. I still think you should dress nice. Where some of this newer generation is coming in polos and khakis, and I'm not like that. So the older generation, I agree with their outlook and I agree with their standards, but I also think that they still need to lighten up a little bit. And when families and stuff ask questions, just give them the answer, and you really have to gauge their intellect and gauge what they can handle and can't handle, and give them the answers that they want. And that's something that I see the new generation is okay with explaining stuff to families, and the older generation is still so secret about things. And they're still uptight. They're really strict and uptight, and that's not good. We need families to be comfortable with us, not feel like we're above them.
Let's get an R going in the chat again. I'm liking what Ray's saying right now. I did not expect it for you to come on tonight, Ray, but I'm glad. I'm sure as hellfire you did.
I don't know how I got here. I didn't mean to. I was just trying to like chime in and listen, but here I am, and it's actually my bedtime, and I got to be up early for work, so I'm going to bounce out here, and I will rewatch this when you guys are done tomorrow.
Hell yeah! Well, it's gonna be on the YouTube and Facebook page. So yeah, this has been great. It's been great to have you on, Ray. And a lot of R's for you in the chat. Jake, Raquel, Karen, these are.
Yep.
A lot of R's for you. So hell, maybe in the future, if you're not busy, if we're talking about anything else, because you're a very opinionated person, Ray. And I don't say that in a bad way.
Wonder why you think that.
Well, I just I don't know. It's just something that I think, but I'm not saying that in a bad way. Of course, I'm saying that like like it's interesting. It's interesting, you know. But
I believe everybody has the right to speak up and advocate for yourself. Stop letting people trample all over you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's
there you go.
My final note.
Say that again, Ray. Say it again. It's a shower thought.
Stand up for yourself and speak up for yourself. That's it.
Hell yeah, Ray. But you're welcome to call on the show anytime you want, whenever we're talking about whatever. Just FYI, because this has been great, Ray. I appreciate it.
Sweet. It was a quick little pop in, and there's my quick little pop out. Thanks, guys. I will rewatch.
Bye, Ray.
All right, Have a good
Brett.
night. Take care. I'll talk to you later. That was cool. That was cool.
We're getting better at this.
Absolutely, I think so. But
Got this little. Got these guys.
Oh yeah,
here.
get my ear. My ear. Can you get it for me? Scratch my ear. Oh, thank you. Ah, that's good. Thank you.
no more looking at my son's play area. We got a green screen.
Who is this? Who is this person? What the hell? Anyway. I think this would probably be a good time to end. Steve, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's fine. We got people around the 2-hour mark is when the crazies start to come out.
Yeah, that's
like,
right.
This guy's talking about anal. Like, no, thank you.
Oh my god! But yeah, this has been a great episode, guys. It's been a lot of fun to finally cover this topic and to get Ben on and Ray, the surprise factor for this episode as well. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the little presentation that the A&R department. Can we give a round of applause for the A&R department one more time? They're just such a beautiful bunch, if I do say so myself.
I hope these people are watching right now.
They are. They're watching exactly like this.
You know what's funny? The guy in the blue shirt on the right, what I'm looking at to be the right, if you look at his pocket, they just didn't like close off his pocket.
Fucked up. They fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, I'm gonna have Regis. That's Regis right there. I'm gonna tell Regis, hey, buddy, don't mess up the photo shoot next time. God damn it. Okay, Raquel is clapping for the A&R department. Thank you, Raquel. But yeah, so that just about does it for episode number 28 of the Sweats and Steve Show. You can find us again. Let's see, on April the 7th. No, yes, April 7th. And maybe we'll just keep it we'll just make a chill episode. We'll find some things to talk about. We'll make it a chill episode. Just be the two of us, the two amigos, two cousins. You know what I mean? And that should be fun.
I think Tori had given an idea of just having like a Q&A. Maybe on the back half we could do like a Q&A. I think maybe if people want to drop questions into the Anchor, that'd be cool.
Can you show people how to do that real quick?
Yeah, let me just pull that up.
All right, go ahead, do your thing, and we'll just keep looking at the A&R department. God, they are a beautiful bunch, if I do say so myself. So let's see. That's Regis in the blue shirt. That's Leona, the blonde, to the left of me, to your right. That's Phil. That's Phil to the left. Your left, my right. And this is Kelly. This is Kelly over here, to the farther end of the table. But yes, this is the A&R department. Absolutely. Without this, the show wouldn't be possible, right, Steve?
That's right. I forgot I have to do this on Google, so give me one more minute.
Go ahead. But just as a reminder to what I'm doing coming up. Friday I'll be doing a track breakdown, some beat making, and I just wanted to say I kind of like I've been getting like really bad sore throats usually, and I'm not I'm pretty loud individual, but I think I'm liking the kind of like the whispering sort of stuff, and I do have an ASMR video. I know it's not going to be for everybody, but a few people have requested it, so. Hey, I've been looking to put out videos anyway, so that's coming up in the future. I want to make a super big thing about that, though. It's not going to be a main part of the stuff that I do on the channel, but that's just coming up. Friday is going to be another beat making session, track breakdown. Sunday, some more horror, I'm sure. Sweats plays, so yeah, that's what I have coming up. Steve, got anything planned?
No, I get my COVID shot tomorrow.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. So, so then here's the Anchor page again, guys. No need to become a monthly contributor. No pressure there. But if you want to, shout out to those people down there. But obviously, if you want to listen to any of our 28 episodes, you can do so here. And then additionally, is that how this works? Tori's episode will be bumped down for Ben's episode. Is that how that works?
Yes.
Okay. And then if you wanted to leave us a message, you just come here. It gives you your default speaker. And then you can you can put a little comment in there, just like so. Send this
Bada
message.
Bing, bada boom.
See, it always asks me to do that, and I don't want to do that. So maybe next time I'll do it and we'll display it. But yeah, it's that simple. So if you want to interact with us, but you don't want to come on screen, have your question asked, by all means, that is the way to do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anything else, Steve? Anything else you have to say before we part ways with the beautiful clean ones out there? The Clean Nation.
Thank you to Ben. I thought he was a really cool guest. I liked him.
Absolutely.
Hopefully we can have him on the future. I'm looking forward to listening to his shows.
Absolutely. And they're very I mean, I do get a sense of ASMR of it as well, kind of a little bit, so it is kind of nice. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a wonderful evening tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. This has been the Sweats and Steve Show, episode number 28, On Call, an evening with the Mortician, featuring special guest Benjamin Schmidt. Please take a look at the links down in the description. Go follow him on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Instagram, and his Facebook page. That'd be much appreciated. Let the gospel of the Clean Nation go worldwide. But anyway, we'll be signing off now. Hope you all have a wonderful night. I will see you guys Friday night.
Hold on, one more thing.
Yes.
Goodbye, fake Raquel.
Hail Sweats, hail Steve. Good show, fellas. Thank you, Lord Nemesis. Hail to Lord Nemesis. I'm gonna drop an LN before I go for Lord Nemesis, by the way. But yes, I'll see you guys. Hopefully, some of you guys Friday, and the Sweats and Steve show will return on April 7th. April 7th, same Sweats time, same Steve channel. Yeah. Oh, he loves you. Oh, she says that you love her.
I'm married, Raquel. I'm happily married.
I hope you guys have a wonderful night. And keep your enemies close. Okay. And as always, shishikada. Bye, guys. See you later.